we're short on
this is great.
We're short on space, so
No, I'm short.
we're doing.
Hey, welcome to the June 2012
Classic
series.
You know, he's really great to have around.
You know, today's like psycho. It's psycho because we have a new white letter coming out on some of the recipes we've been doing here at Wine Monthly over the last 40 years, starting with my mother's, which, we'll skip those and go on to yours.
Yeah. No, we won't do that.
So,
Speaking of skipping things,
we have a lot of fun wines today, too. So
we have some great wines.
You're going to start with the red? Okay.
I'm going to start with the first wine that's up there, the Babcock Syrah, Under the Radar, 2010.
Under the radar.
This is a wine. This is why we get these deals, because Brian Babcock, very good friend of mine, great winemaker. He's been making every grape he can get his hands on and various permutations of them. And after a while, he goes, "I can't sell all this stuff. You know, I mean, I can't sell it. He says, I gotta concentrate on making what I do best, which is Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And so then we get this $17.99 wine and we sell it for $7.99. I mean, what's wrong with that?
You know, you brought this to me about, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I kept hemming and hawing and this, and I liked it.
The wine's amazing.
But you know what I like about it? There's almost zero smoke. It's got lots of blueberries. It's a fruit-forward Syrah, which is really kind of fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't have all that animal hair smell, which I'm not crazy about. But man, can you imagine this summer you're barbecuing a prime tri-tip?
It's perfect.
It's just amazing.
That was
little
really
chewiness in the meat.
I knew having you around for 40 years would finally pay off.
43, but who's counting?
You know, this is that's right, you started before I did.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't even in grammar school.
Well, it was close.
Did you get out of grammar school, by the way?
Just barely. This is, like Ed said, it's $17.99 on the shelf. It's $7.99 on the reorder. It's a 95er for me.
At least, yeah. And I'm giving it a 95, and I don't like Syrah.
You always say that about every varietal we do.
Well, no, I only say that about most of them. No, just Syrah and Chardonnay. But we've been getting some really good wines, you know.
That's really good.
I mean, this is so well balanced too. You know, that's the other.
I really like that. Okay.
My next favorite white wine.
Now here, the first Vin Expo we went to with my dad in 1993 in Bordeaux, which is this incredibly huge. You need to go.
It's like 3 football
It's
fields.
ridiculously large. You can't go there and say, "Oh, we'll go taste some wine."
Yeah, right.
That's what we thought.
No.
So we walk in there and it's like you just sensory barrage of wines. I mean, you're talking about booths for the champagne houses that were probably $1 million. Double deck brasseries built inside the convention center. Beautiful wood and everything. So my dad goes, "Let's go taste the Portuguese wines." Sorry. So we go taste these Portuguese wines, and they were horrible. I mean, this is 1993. They were so bad. And we've been keeping an eye on them forever. And this is the first one we've featured, at least, the Vino Verde. No, I mean, Vino Verde.
Look at that.
Isn't that great?
Vino Verde's been beautiful forever.
Yeah, but they were thinner, and they weren't as interesting, and I think with the advent of some winemaking techniques. This one's just so, and I couldn't believe when the guy brought it to me that I could afford to feature it in the club.
What are you talking about? We've done at least three Vino Verdes in the last year.
No, we have not.
Yes, we did. We did the one with that silly name. I want to say Painted Van, but that wasn't it. It was like
That wasn't Vino Verde.
Yeah, it was. It was a Vino Verde. I wrote the article. It's a Vino Verde. You know, age is a terrible thing, but these wines are
Sorry, you're right. There was one.
They're so delicious.
That was from Bab Castellani. Bab.
This
is for the June in the hot weather. Chill this thing, sit on the veranda when you get one.
Man, it's delicious.
If you don't have one, build one. Veranda.
The veranda, right? Okay.
It's 12% alcohol too.
I know, that's another beauty of these wines, because they pick the grapes relatively soon. They're not picked real late, and so the sugars don't go up, so they don't have a lot of alcohol, and they're light, they're refreshing.
It's really good.
Really refreshing. And you know, $6.99 on a reorder.
That's a joke.
I mean,
I'm going to raise the price.
It's a little late.
You know, you
should have thought of that.
There's a little citrus in there, a little minerality in there, which this Vino Verdes can be very simple wines, which they typically are supposed to be, but this one has some complexity to it. Have some more.
It gets a bad rap for being, simple wine. It's literally translates into green wine, but it's absolutely fabulous. It's a great summer wine. Like I said, you chill it down. You can have it with just about anything, and it'll work.
Love it. This is a 94 for me.
Well, I'm giving it a 95.
Wow, that's 295s in a row. That's 190.
Okay. You know,
like
to do that math like that really takes talent.
This is in the back here in the warehouse, and I keep walking by and seeing this silhouette, and it reminds me of, and it's called Wiley Jack. And I just keep getting this TV show, Billy Jack, or what is it?
Well, no, it was the guy
Clint Eastwood.
Paladin.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Paladin.
That's what I keep thinking.
Back in the 50s.
Okay, this was brought to me last year sometime, and they wanted a lot of money because the wine sells for $17. And I said, I like the wine, but you're going to have to be more competitive. And finally, he came back about 3 weeks ago. That happens really quickly. And he goes, all right, they want to sell it to you. I said, get it in here. So we got it in. I think this is stupendous.
I don't want to, correct you, but they weren't selling it for $17. They were asking $17. There's a big difference.
Boy, the flavors in this.
This is a really nice bottle of wine.
And it's California, but it's bottled in Sonoma. I'm gonna guess it is Sonoma juice.
Oh,
I'll bet
you there's some Lodi juice in there. It's also a 2007, which is a killer vintage.
I know, and it's just
a great vintage.
It's done so well. I mean, the color's great. It's still youthful as heck.
Well, but that's partly the vintage too. I mean, even though it's bordering now almost 5 years old, my God, and most wines in California aren't going to last that long. This has got another 5 years to go.
This is great. I got lots of raspberry, I guess, some blackberry.
Absolute raspberry right there. Strawberry.
There's a little bit of oak in there.
Yeah, it's not overly wooded out, but it's really pretty. Mm-hmm. Very complex. There's a lot of stuff. There's some spice in there too. There's a little. I want to say
it's a 94 for me, and it's $16.99 on the shelf, $16.99 if you're not going to mumble.
Yeah.
And $7.99 on reorder. Silly. It's absolutely silly. You silly boy, you. Okay, this is really fun. This is back to Australia, back down under. Haven't had Australian wines, in the regular series for a while, and flipped over this. And the guy was kind enough to sell us enough for the alternate for the whites only customers. And it's they were the ones that started this unwooded thing, right?
Well, they didn't start it, but they actually made some hay with it, and I applaud them for that reason, because it gives you more of a truer feeling of the grape without it being masked by.
But I don't think it's unwooded. I think it's a little bit oak in it.
There may be, it depends on where it's grown. I've tasted some unoaked Chardonnays that you'd swear had oak in them. We've had a couple of them.
Some of the fine. I think Chablis, when I taste a fine Chablis, always tastes like it's got oak in it. But
some of them do.
I like this wine because it's got a ton of green apples, it's got a ton of grape flavors.
Oh, God.
It's not overdone with anything. It's just nice, balanced wine.
It's got really piquant acidity. I bet they didn't go through 100% malolactic, so you still got malic acid. Malic acid is the acid that's in the green apple, which is very, very tart, and it's
really refreshing.
Yeah, that's the beauty of acid. I mean, it cleanses your palate, gets it ready to take the next taste.
This is a small quantity. Came to America. It's $15.99 on the shelf. If you can find it, you can get more from us at $6.99 for this quality.
Well, and there you have it.
What is wrong with me?
Everything.
Besides that,
I don't have time to go into it right now, but June 2012 Classic Series. 4 really spectacular wines. I would load up on these myself.
Let's
take
go,
them home.
It's twice the cost for you.
Thank you. It pays to have high friends and places.